Hello everyone, and welcome to my False Duck video blog. This is only the third video blog that I've done. I think the last one was in 2014. But I'm doing one because I'm getting a little bored. I'm sitting at home. I am self-isolating at my boss's request because I was in Toronto last week, and you know, it's sort of the epicenter in Ontario of a lot of COVID-19 cases. I rode the subways and the buses and everything, and it didn't make me sick, but she kind of felt, well, maybe I should self-isolate for the rest of this week. Last week I was on holidays, so I guess it didn't really make a difference. I was there on March 8th and 9th. On the 8th, I went to see a concert with my son at Roy Thompson Hall. It was Nathaniel Rateliff. You can see the ticket there. Really good concert. I'll talk about that in a second. And so I saw my son on the 8th and 9th, and I saw my two daughters, and my Emily and Abby, and my son-in-law Charlie, and we had dinner on the Monday night, the 9th. I came back on the 10th, but I was walking around Toronto, rode streetcars, subways, touched things, went to a bunch of different stores, so I didn't get sick, but my boss thought, hey, take the rest of this week and self-isolate. So I'm self-isolating and I'm doing a video blog. So yes, I was in Toronto and I saw Nathaniel Rateliff at Roy Thompson Hall. What an awesome concert. Really enjoyed it. He was doing some solo stuff for his new solo album, which I have right here. It is called And It's Still Alright. There's the LP. Yes, I buy LPs because I enjoy LPs. And it's a marvelous album, and there's a great song on there called Rush On, which I really enjoy, and if you haven't heard it, you should check it out on many of your platforms: Apple Music, Google Music, Spotify, old gramophones on 78. I don't think there is anything such thing as that, but check it out. While I was at it, I also bought his other older solo stuff, because I really liked a lot of the stuff that he sang at the concert, which was solo stuff, not the stuff he's done with the Night Sweats, but that's all good. I told people I went to see Nathaniel Rateliff at Roy Thompson Hall, and people were making a joke about it being Daniel Radcliffe. Well, Nathaniel Rateliff is with the Night Sweats, and Daniel Radcliffe is with the Night Bus, if you get the Harry Potter reference. But anyways, yeah, check out those albums. They are fantastic, and you know, the stuff he did with the Night Sweats is really good as well. So last week on holidays, I thought I would also get back to finish reading a book that I took up on the train. I started on my last holidays in September, never got to finish it. It's right here. It is called One Day in August by David O'Keefe. Came out a few years ago, I think 2014, 2015, 2013. And basically what this book is about was about the Dieppe landing in August of bada bing, as Joe Biden would say. Let's see if I can narrow it down. August 19th, 1942. So that was a terrible landing at Dieppe, and a lot of people were killed and captured or injured. What this guy proposes is that it was a cover for a pinch raid, which a pinch raid was trying to get materials, in this case codes and charts, and hopefully a new four-rotor Enigma machine, which they didn't have at that time to decrypt. They had the three-rotor one, but the Germans had come up with the new four-rotor one. So this guy puts together a propelling argument regarding that, and some secret force that was led by Ian Fleming, who is the creator of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and James Bond. By the way, I'm working my way through a James Bond box set. I just watched A View to a Kill last night. I still like the Bond films. I hadn't watched all of them. Surprised that the 24 film box set that I bought didn't include Never Say Never Again with Sean Connery. Now I got to track that down. I wish I'd known that. I would have looked for it in Toronto. But this book is a fascinating book about Dieppe and whether the whole landing was a cover-up for the pinch raid. Great book. There's supposed to be a documentary too, I think, called Uncovering Dieppe. I've got to check that out. I'm going to move on to some other things about DVDs, because when I was in Toronto, I had to go to some of my favorite shops so I could pick up some DVDs that I've been looking for, and I found some other things I wasn't looking for, but were all interesting. But before I went to Toronto, I was at Sam the Record Man and Sunrise here in Belleville at the Quinte Mall, and I picked up the Blu-ray of The Earthling, put out by Kino Lorber. This is a fantastic film starring William Holden and a young Ricky Schroeder. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend it. It's about an elderly gentleman who's going to the outbacks of Australia to die to his generational home, and he finds this kid played by Ricky Schroeder, and he's got to take him along and teach him to survive because only one of them is going to come out. And I'm not going to tell you anymore, but I want to applaud Kino Lorber because this print is beautiful. It is absolutely the best I've seen this film, and if you can get it on Blu-ray, get it on Blu-ray. So when I was in Toronto, I was always looking for a number of things. I'm going to skip to the biggest find that I found. It was at Sonic Boom down on Spadina Street. I found a copy of Pandora and the Flying Dutchman. I had seen ads for this on other Kino Lorber discs that I had, not on The Earthling, but anyways, this to buy this DVD alone of the Kino Lorber prints, $120 on Amazon, and I paid $40 for the Blu-ray, so not too shabby. I had to have it. I haven't watched it yet, so I'll let you know once I have seen it. It is James Mason and Ava Gardner. Can't go wrong with a combination like that. Also picked up this film here, 1931 print of Treasure Island with Jackie Cooper and Wallace Berry. Don't own that. I have a couple of other Treasure Island films, but not this one, so I'm looking forward to that. Picked this one up for my friend Brian. It is another Kino Lorber film. It is The Light at the Edge of the World with Kirk Douglas and Yul Brynner. That sounds pretty interesting. I won't go into that, but I'll have a look at it before I send it to Brian. Picked up this because I'm a fan of heist films. It's called Midas Run, and it has Richard Crenna and Fred Astaire and Anne Haywood. Fred Astaire's inside a tank cannon. What's up with that? It's an interesting heist film. There's double cross, triple cross. It's kind of weird, but I enjoyed it. Picked this up actually at a thrift shop recently called I'm going to have to look at the side because I can't read it. The Courageous Heart of Irina Sendler. Irina Sendler. She is a woman who helped free 2,500 Jewish children during the German occupation of Poland. Kind of like a Hallmark movie or something, but very well done. Anna Paquin does an excellent job as Irene Sendler, and check out more about Irene Sendler, but I really enjoyed the film, so did my wife. Had to have this. I am a huge fan of Eddie Cantor, and I was like, okay, sorry, I almost knocked all my DVDs over here. I'm a huge fan of Eddie Cantor. And I saw this at a BMV up on Yonge Street near Eglinton, and you know, I love the Jolson story. Eddie Cantor story, not as good as the Jolson story, but it's still interesting. Keith Brazell does a good job as Eddie Cantor, and I love the songs. So I've actually ordered a 4-disc collection of Eddie Cantor films, which I'm really excited to get, and I'm going to try to collect some more of those, and I might talk about that more in the future. This is a film that I had read about, so when I saw it in Toronto at Bay Video, I had to have it. It's called The Man Who Was Sherlock Holmes, and this is another Kino Lorber print. It's from 1937. It's a German film. It's in German, but with English subtitles, and it's about this guy. Is he Sherlock Holmes? Is he not Sherlock Holmes? You'd have to watch the film to understand it, but it's very good, and I really recommend that. This is in my pile because I watched that not that long ago. Didn't pick it up, but I'm working my way through Betty Davis films, and I was up to Juarez with Paul Muni. Interesting film. I don't know how historically accurate it is, and it probably wasn't a great role for Betty Davis, but I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to whatever's the next on my Betty Davis list. Back to Bay Video again. I picked up this. This is The Chase with Robert Cummings. It's a film noir film from 1946. It's been lounging around on bad DVD and VHS copies for years, sort of in the public domain. But Kino Lorber, again, who does an excellent job of fixing things up, did this film and made it awesome. So I highly recommend it. It's got a good twist in the middle. And Robert Cummings, he never looks old. I swear the guy was 105 and he looked like he was 25 all the time. So I think you'd enjoy that film, The Chase. And the woman on the cover, by the way, is Michelle Morgan, and it also has Peter Lorre in it. Can't go wrong with Peter Lorre. Don't ask me why I picked this up. Paddle to the Sea. I had to have a print of Paddle to the Sea. I saw this at the BMV downtown on Edward Street. Scared the daylights out of me when I was a kid. I went home crying. I've seen it since, but I wanted to own a copy of Paddle to the Sea. It's about the little boat that was carved by a gentleman, and he puts it in the snow, it melts, and it goes into the river systems, and it's on the bottom that says, "Put me back on paddling to the sea." Great Canadian film by the National Film Board of Canada. Check it out if you haven't seen it. I also picked up Gunsmoke, the 16th season. Look at that price, $25. Brian and I were at Sam's and HMB, or sorry, not HMB anymore, they're Sunrise. And not that long ago, looking to fill in our Gunsmoke collection because they now have up to season 19 available. I own up to the end of season 14. Season 15 was put out in 2 volume sets, and there's like $35 a piece. That's $70. Pretty much the same for. It's expensive, probably about $60 for a season set for 16, 17, 18, and 19. I don't want to pay that, but when I see it for $25 for the complete season 16, because after season 16 on to the 19th season, they made complete rather than the volume set. So $25, good deal. And I'm hoping that maybe by the end of this year they'll have the very last season out, which is season 20, because all the post movies are available. So I'm going to actually move on to something else here, and that is vinyl, because you know I'm a huge fan of vinyl. And I picked up this album, a number of these at a thrift shop a couple weeks ago. I haven't listened to a lot of them, so I'll tell you what I have and what I've listened to. The Towering Hilltoppers, featuring the voice of Jimmy Saka, or Saka, I don't know. Haven't heard them. They look interesting. Can't be the Mills Brothers, but hey, they sound interesting. The big ones, Kenny Ball style. I like Kenny Ball. He's a British musician. Midnight in Moscow is his big hit. But you got some things on here like Never on a Sunday, Love Me Tender, The Good Life, High Hope. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that one. The Mr. Ackerbilk Omnibus. I just love the cover. And if I get a chance to post some of these records or songs online, I will. So I'll get around to that. And I haven't listened to that one. This one, I picked up 2 albums by this guy. This is Dave Van Ronk. Interesting looking fellow. And that is in the tradition with the Red Onion Jazz Band. It's okay. If you like that kind of sort of thing. He's kind of jazz, kind of folk. And so, you know, I saw another album by him that I thought I would pick up. And that was Dave Ronk Sings the Blues. And you got some songs on here that I don't even recognize any of the names of them, but Willie the Weeper, Come Back Baby. I'll listen to that at some point, and I'll also post those on. So the only one I've listened to of that is the Red Onion Jazz Band one. Got a Benny Goodman one here, Happy Session. And that looks interesting as well. Haven't had a chance to listen to that. Indian Summer's on it, which is one of my favorite songs. You know, that's a Duke Ellington song. And if you haven't heard it sung by Frank Sinatra, you're missing out. So I'm going to have a listen to that sometime. Trini Lopez at PJ's. I have listened to this. Trini Lopez at PJ's. Some songs on here like America, Coming to America. If I Had a Hammer, Bye Bye Blackbird, When the Saints Go Marching In. So I like Trini Lopez. Hadn't bought a Trini Lopez record, so that one. You know, when you get them for 50 cents, that's a good deal, $1. Jazz in the Making, a collector's item. So I bought that. I liked that. I listened to some of that. So you've got people like the Dixie Stompers, Bix Beiderbecke, King Oliver, the original Dixieland Jazz Band, Louis Armstrong. So I'll post some of that sometime. picked up this recently too because I am, Frank Sinatra fan, and there he is over here. And it's just a Harry James album. I may actually already own this, so I'll put it in my Frank Sinatra Harry James collection. It does have Frank Sinatra singing All or Nothing at All. That's the only thing he sings on that. Oh, wait, I got to save this one because it's quite the surprise. Recently picked up this, The Best of Humph, 1949-1956. It's Humphrey Littleton and his band. Maple Leaf Rag, original Jelly Roll Blues, Panama Rag, On Treasure Island, things like that. Haven't listened to this either, so I've got a lot to get through, I guess, in the next little while. And finally, before I close out this blog, I bought this record. And I'm going to tell you, when I saw it in the thrift bin at the Value Village, I'm like, oh man, that's To the Tables Down at Maury's. And nobody... See, they should give you another shot of that cover. And nobody would probably recognize this album or get excited other than me. I wasn't even excited to listen to it or own it for the record. I wanted to own it for the cover. And even the cover's not that fascinating. But if you've read through any of my blogs, I did a blog called The Jazz Band That Wasn't But Was, or it might have been called The Jazz Band That Was That Wasn't, all about the Left Bank Bearcats, who put out 3 albums, and their fake band, who did not record the songs at a cafe, the Moulin Rouge Cafe in France. They did them out of Philadelphia, and they're all Americans. And one of their albums was recorded at a bar. I think it was one of the last ones, the Left Bank Bearcats in Hi-Fi, or Left Bank Bearcats in stereo, if you want to look at that release. And read an article about it, and I posted some of that in the blog, that the album was recorded at the Townhouse Bar in Media, Pennsylvania. And I showed a picture of this cover in that blog, because this is right here, all of this, that is the Townhouse Pub Bar in Media, Pennsylvania. This album was also linked to that, so I was fascinated that I found that. So just because it's part of that Left Bank Bearcat mystery thing, now I have the album that I had posted online, so that's kind of interesting. So where do we go from here? The world's going to a strange place with the COVID-19, so take care of yourself. If you have to self-isolate, watch some good movies, maybe some of the ones I recommended. Maybe you can't get those online or on Netflix or anything, but maybe you can download them somewhere or stream them from a Warner Archives website, because I think they have streaming. But take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and also take care of your loved ones, your friends, your moms, your dads, any of the elderly people. Get them some toilet paper. People, by the way, stop stockpiling the toilet paper. Just take what you need. But I hope you enjoyed this blog. I'm going to try to put some links in the bottom to some of these music tracks, if I can get to that. But again, take care, and the world will march on, and I'll see you again.